Rated M for mature.
Don't let your kids watch it!
But yeah, let's continue. I also want to point out the 2 achievements I've gotten thus far have been called Goodbye Sister and Hello Sister. Goodbye Sister being you're saying goodbye to the sisters at the Catholic school you left, and Hello Sister being you saying hello to Mion. I think that's pretty interesting. Also, I think there's, is it 16 or 18? There are 16 achievements in this game. Now, 2 of them are just for reading all the tips and doing the after party. But that means we are 1/7 of the way through the game. So, it might take a while. Anyhow, if we want to cover this, we better get started. Ooh. Yes, it was a fun party. Bet he has a Satoko canine tooth. We'll see if Satoshi has that. Isn't it usually the anime girls that have that, not really the boys? It's a very quiet afternoon, as always. Since I can't go outside as myself, I have to match schedules of Mion when I go shopping. Yeah, otherwise Grandma will be upset, and we can't upset Grandma. That would be nothing to sneeze at. I've gotten used to it by now, so it's no longer a hassle. Because of this, I naturally have to buy things in bulk. Oh, she got that Costco membership. Today I shuttled between the shops and my home.
あれは買った、これも買った。ああ、そうだ。今日って100円セールの日じゃなかったっけ?
Dang, $1. Oh, she's going to Dollar General now.
忘れてた。
Being in a good mood, I spun around where my arms spread out, or with my arms spread out. I felt like a little whirlwind. My arm hit a motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. It obviously wasn't there where it was supposed to be. Uh-oh. Are we getting involved with the street gang that Mion had to scare off in Chapter 2? I mean, Shion had to scare off on Chapter 2? I thought it was Mion. Ouch! I gave it a kick with no hesitation. Oh no. Watch it, stupid head! There were 3 motorcycles lined up in a row. They all fell like dominoes. It was a beautiful sight. This is fun, I thought. Oh, she likes vandalism. She's a real winner, isn't she? Being in such a good mood made me leave my guard down. I didn't realize that the owners of the motorcycles were right nearby. They looked pretty scary. They grabbed me by the neck and dragged me into a dark alley. Uh-oh. They don't know she has Yakuza connections, so this is not going to go well for anybody involved. Then they called me all kinds of names. Everything was happening too quickly for me to grasp what was going on. Uh-oh. Oh no, he said the word Daffic. We're done. Uh-oh. He called us a female dog. This is bad. They're also all named Delinquent, so you really know that their parents didn't actually care about them. That guy can't even speak English. He's just going, bleh, just makes noises. Oh, never mind. Oh, never mind. It's the return of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Thugs. Probably the same ones from Chapter 2. We're going to do something really bad to them, which is why we were able to scare them off in Chapter 2. That's how it's going to happen. Whoa. They can't really talk properly. I didn't have a clue what they were saying. I had to translate their alien tongue into normal human words in order to understand. We are very upset because you knocked down our motorcycles. Well, they should have ridden bicycles. You should immediately pay for the repair and compensation. Yeah, that was probably it. That's our offer. What do you say? We'd be happy to listen to your opinion. Something like that? She's not panicking very much. This is interesting. I know what they're trying to say, but somebody has to warn them about the way they park their motorcycles. It wouldn't be fair to those who obey the rules if there was no punishment for those who disobey them. I mean, I do agree with that. So there you go. 1 point for Shion. This is an accident, but it also must be God's will. Oh, but I thought you didn't like religion, Shion. So it looks like you're a little contradictory here. But God. You can use me to punish these guys, but how will you compensate me later? Oh, no, not... Oh, boy. Shion's a piece of work. She's not even insane yet, and she's already a piece of work. I heaved a huge sigh. Of course. I wasn't afraid in this situation at all. Because it wasn't a dangerous one for me. These 3 guys were yelling at the top of their lungs at a girl. They didn't look good doing it, and they also had too many disadvantages. First, there was the differences in gender and the number of people. Even if I did something wrong, as men shouting at a woman, it didn't make them look like they were in the right. Added to that, there were 3 of them. It already looked like it was going to get violent. Second, the location. Taking a girl into a dark, narrow alleyway is already a bad idea, and on top of that, they're asking for money, not just an apology. Hey, ex-dude, welcome! Oh, we're just getting cornered by street gang delinquents, and we're gonna beat them up. No problem. It's a beat-em-up game, don't you know? Shion probably has pepper spray or something? Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't put it. She probably has a weapon of some kind. The greatest one of all, her ton. Thanks to these facts, the public will be on my side. So this is a fight they couldn't possibly win. Yeah, but you also might lose the fight. That's the problem. You know, they're probably not getting out of this scot-free, but you're also probably not getting out of this scot-free. The only way for them to win would be to take my money before somebody finds out. Considering that, taking me to this narrow, secluded alleyway might have been a smart move, since fewer people will find out about this situation. Are they just punching the wall in frustration? Because Shion's not reacting to getting hurt, so... I knew how slim their chances of winning were. From the very beginning, they had picked the wrong girl. I'm Mion Sonozaki now. It'd be foolish to mug her in Okinomiya. Soon enough, the people of Hinamizawa would notice me and gab around. They don't spare mercy for their enemies, no matter what. The punks didn't know this area well. If they did, they'd have known how silly it was to rob Mion. Plus, the alleyway isn't as empty as they assumed. Yeah, this is a very dark alleyway. That or the assets are limited. The side street is also a shortcut which local people frequently use on their way home. In the late afternoon, many people will be passing through here. That time had almost arrived. If I held off a little longer, the street would soon be filled with people. Then the punks would have to go away. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to wait in order to win. This was a simple fight like that. I at least admire her guts. Shion definitely seems capable, even if she's kind of crazy. While they could hurl abusive language at me or lift me up by my collar, they weren't actually going to resort to violence. Are you sure about that? Cheers to the educational system for ingraining the ladies first mindset. But as a wicked person, I wanted to toy with them a bit, even though I could win this by waiting. She even thinks that she's a bad person. This is not good. I wanted to paint them as even more villainous and drive them into a corner that would be even harder to talk their way out of. The demonic desire was rearing its horns. Alright, Shion, you are... To put it plainly, I'd only need to act as the poor, helpless victim a little further. Like that pathetic, pitiful, tragic heroine everyone wants to sympathize with. In a case like this, I shouldn't start crying immediately, because they'd get nervous and draw back. If it were a truly threatening situation, that would work, but I needed something different here. I'd pretend to be strong at first. In fact, I thought, why don't I challenge them? And eventually I'd start trembling, my voice would fade, and I'd get tears in my eyes. It'd be even better if I played the role of a strong girl who's slowly giving in to fear. Mion and I are probably the only ones who are capable of pulling that kind of stuff off. Well, I'm probably better than her.
そんなにしつこく言わなくてもいいでしょ。悪かったって言ってるじゃないですか。
I don't like either, to be fair. But at least Keiichi's usually only perverted when he's with other people, which is kind of weird. Normally it's the opposite. I talk back with a little hesitation. Am I getting tears yet? Oh, gross! Oh, she's so manipulative. I hate this. Yes. By the way, I've heard men can't shed tears on command. I feel sorry for them. The free punks faltered a bit due to my sudden change in attitude, but they soon started yelling at me again. I had to keep it going. That way they'd blatantly look like they were picking on a helpless girl.
もう許してください。
Crocodile tears. She's the worst.
なんだよこら。さっきまでの伊勢はどこ行ったんだよ、にゃろ。
そんなのだって。
How does this girl have any fans?
そんな今頃泣くくれなら興奮されてんじゃねえんだよ、タクよ。
Life hack, don't blink, you'll cry. Does that work? It looked like they were laying off a bit. Did I overdo it a little? It'd be boring if they let me go now. She's the worst. She's not even just trying to get out of the situation. She's like, I want to ruin these guys' lives. Oh man, Shion would love modern day with social media. At that moment. Hey, here he is!
いい加減にしないか。
Oh man, oh, this is how she's gonna become, like, obsessed with Satoshi. She's gonna be, wow, he didn't know and he, like, stood up for me all by himself. Let's go, Satoshi. Here he is. The one, the only, the man with a sprite. Man, Satoshi got a sprite before Keiichi did. Yikes. Oh, look at this. He looks a little derpy in the OG art style. Although it doesn't look bad. I feel like he's a little higher quality in this art style compared to some of the others. Ooh, oh! Hey now. Hey now. Console Satoshi. Okay. I can dig this. Which is better? Oh, I do like the remake art style. Okay, I gotta ask, which do people prefer? The remake Steam version here? Or console? And console, by the way, will have lip sync involved, too. I like them both, actually. He looks so sad. He does look a little bit sad. That's because he's probably just trying to put on a brave face. Let's see what his lip sync is like. Oh, you call that lip sync? He barely even moved his mouth. Okay, no, we're going back to the remake. that was like a 1 pixel difference. Good job. A boy around my age appeared. He was skinny. He looked weak. He looked younger than he probably was. He also looked smart. He bravely glared at the punks. Ooh. You like all three? You like the original, then console next. Okay, so you don't like the remake art styles. For me, it's kind of split between remake and console. There are a couple sprites where I'm like, oh man, the console art style is just so good. Okay, you know what? Let's go to the console at least. Let's get a little bit of that lip sync. That guy's natural voice sounds like what I'm intentionally doing a stupid voice.
Nah, you better back off now or I'm gonna punch you.
The punks turned away from me to face the boy instead. The boy looked a bit agitated when the punks started yelling at him. They sure were ruthless. But the boy must have known that from the beginning. He must have known that he was going into a dangerous situation, yet he didn't hesitate. And this makes sense, because Satoshi is in a dangerous situation on a regular basis. He probably is constantly trying to stand up to his terrible aunt and uncle, and he also has experience defending his younger sister. So this is actually very in character. This is smart. I like this. What is that face?
I'm bad now.
This is great. Oh, he's got the little sweat drip here in the original art style. Okay, you were speaking about Satoshi specifically. That's what I figured, Ruben. Okay, yeah, I like the console for this face a lot. He wasn't even talking there, but he still opened his mouth. He must have wanted to shout back at them, but he'd probably never used that kind of language in his life, so he couldn't have expressed his feelings out loud. He might not have even known what to say. So he just kept on glaring at them, to let them know that he wasn't going anywhere. The three punks, though, might have thought he was just lost for words in his fear. But I knew different. The boy was overpowering them with nothing but his will. The punks were losing, so they resorted to violence. They grabbed him and knocked him down. They hit, kicked, and tossed him around. It looked painful, but I knew. It was his victory. Dang. You like Keiichi better? He gives off a bold attitude. Satoshi looks weak and depressed. It makes sense in story, though. I mean, I don't really know Satoshi well yet, so I'll have to figure this out. I like the cheerful music during while they're beating him up, yeah. In the end, local passerby stopped the punks. They made no further fuss and just went away. The boy stood up. He was covered in dust. But that's not exactly reflected in the art style here. He smiled when our eyes met. He's like, oh, hey, cute girl. This is my chance. No, Satoshi, don't do it. She's crazy. She's insane. All day, but he looks so happy in this one. Oh, he looks pretty friendly here. I don't hate the original art style for Satoshi. But let's keep up the console. He asked me if I was all right. He didn't look particularly okay himself, though. I mean, he looks pretty fine to me.
あんたもよくもまあ勝てない喧嘩を買う人ですね。次からは勝てる算段がついてから喧嘩を買うことを深くお勧めしますけどね。最初は迷ったよ。
Yeah, but he had to think about it. Dang, we're getting a lot of these sprites. Satoshi probably thinks it's Mion. Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, Mion's also kind of crazy, though. Oh, look how happy he is! Oh, that's cute. I like that. He laughed, saying that he was watching from the beginning. That meant he had the option to walk away. But instead, he worked up the courage and stepped in.
そういうのは勇気って言わず、身の程知らずとも言うかな。
I would say the same for you, Shion. Oh, he blushing.
ミオンは口が減らないね。
Okay, yeah, he does think it's Mion.
助けてくれてありがとうくらい言ってくれよ。泣いてたじゃないか。
別に泣いてなんかいません。あれはちょっとした演
He's
技
gonna
で。
be, oh, of course it was.
いいよ、演技でも。
Oh, are we gonna pull the whole thing on Satoshi that they pulled on Keiichi in chapter 2, where it's like, surprise, I'm her twin, and he's like, ah!
ちょっと信じてないでしょう。私が本当に泣き出すと思いますか？
But you did.
思わないよ。天下御免の園崎ミオンが不良にいじめられて泣き出したなんて誰も思わないよ。
何を笑ってるんですか？全然信じてないでしょう。私が半泣きなんてするわけない。
信じるから信じるから。
I realized one thing. He must be one of Sis's friends. He didn't seem to realize I'm her twin. Yeah, because nobody knows that. Because Grandma's like, Shion doesn't exist. We sent her off to the Catholic school. He thought I was Mion with a different hairstyle. Mion and I had to live separately since before we went to elementary school. Mion was in Hinamizawa, and I was in Okinomiya. I lived in a totally different environment from her. So it's not strange that people don't know me. Actually, only very few people know I exist. I almost told him I'm not Mion, but I managed to stop myself. Shion shouldn't be here. He's from Hinamizawa. It wouldn't be good if he thought a Mion lookalike was if he thought he saw a Mion lookalike in Okinomiya. So I had to act like Mion. Dealing with him could be more difficult than handling those punks.
でもま、ミオンにも少しは女の子らしいところがあったんで安心したよ。
なんだか妙に引っかかる言い方ですけど、つまりはどういう意味で？
ミオンのことだから、なんだか珍妙な憲法でも使って瞬く間に撃退してしまうんじゃないかって期待してたね。
That doesn't really work. It's 1v3 and she's a teenage girl, okay? I'm not saying you can't do anything, but when you're up against 3 grown men, like, it doesn't really matter. They win.
だから泣き出した時は正直驚いた。
Yeah, that one's gonna be hard to explain. Like, I just wanted to mess with them and like be evil, you know?
だからあれは泣き真似だったって言ってるじゃないですか。さっきから人の話ちゃんと聞いて。
He gently put his hand on top of my head and stroked it as if stroking a kitten. Okay, that's maybe a little bit weird. But alright, you do you. I can remember somebody doing that to me when I was little, but it had been quite a while since somebody stroked my head. I mean, we ain't Satoko, bro. I didn't know what to do. Why did it make me so embarrassed? My face reddened all at once. I couldn't say anything. Is he
バカにしてま
is he
す。
gonna make the moves on us? This will be very awkward if he does.
ひょっとして。
I started him in embarrassment. He looked calm as if he was used to doing this. That's what Rika does. Yeah, but Rika can do whatever she wants because people are just like, oh my gosh, she's so cute.
なんでもいいよ。よかったじゃないか。
I do want to see Rika again, though. She is one of the more fascinating characters after the events of Chapter 4.
よかったって何がです？
無事で。
He smiled as he kept stroking my head. His smile looked divine. He wasn't going to stay for long. He'd already saved me from those guys after all.
じゃあ僕は行かなきゃならないからそろそろ行くね。
うん。
I wanted to go for all the steps of meeting someone for the first time, but he didn't. As far as he was concerned, he just saved a friend from danger and wanted to leave quickly to avoid seeming pretentious. He and Mion must be friends who knew each other well. So I couldn't bring myself to ask, what's your name? Mion's friend smiled once again. His smile looked as refreshing as a clear blue sky. This time he smiled a bit mischievously.
安心しなよ。 ミオンが泣いてたなんて誰にも言わないから。もっとも言ったところで誰も信じないだろうけどね。天下無双の委員長が泣いてたなんて絶対誰も信じない。
He patted the dust off his butt once again. He walked back to the sunny main road away from the dark alley. Then he turned around.
じゃあまた明日学校でね。
うん。学校で。
We're gonna have to phone call Mion about this. Be like, hey, Mion, just so you know, I decided to mess with some delinquents and... Doggone it, Shion, not again! He appeared into the brightly lit street. I continued to sit in the gloomy alleyway. I could no longer see him. I was just staring absent-mindedly at the bright light. That was the first time I met Satoshi-kun. Girl smitten. Indeed. I'm not even allowed to walk freely under the sun. I met a boy on a sunny day. How come a perverse girl like me fell in love with his innocence? Notebook, page 5.
そりゃあサトシだよ。サトシ。
Satoshi, you can do better.
その特徴的な雰囲気と気安く頭を撫で
Okay,
る癖は
that's a
間違
bit
い
of
な
a
いね。
weird habit. Don't try doing that to the teacher. She'll kill you.
ふーん。
I mean, teacher would never do that.
サトシくんって言うんだ。
The boy from earlier is called Satoshi Hojo-kun. Mion said that he's always daydreaming. So she didn't believe that he saved me at first.
普段はしっかり者の妹にい
Okay,
ろいろと尻を叩かれてるな。
that's rude, Satoko. He is literally your only good family member, so be nice to him.
ふーん。妹がいるんだ。
うん。妹はサトコって言ってね。なかなか面白いやつだよ。
That's debatable.
なかなか悪知恵が働く
That's
し
true.
ね。そのくせ追い詰められるとな。
That's all. Okay, 2 out of 3. There you go, Mion.
見てて退屈しない子だ
Okay,
ね。
2 out of 4.
まあ最近はいろいろとあってね。
3 out of 5.
ちょっと調子を落としてるけど。
His sister came up naturally in the conversation. I tried to soak up every scrap of information about Satoshi-kun. Oh no, she's Facebook stalking him before Facebook existed. Why? Why am I trying to ask so much about him? As I asked myself that, the feeling I got when he stroked my head came back to me. I must have been blushing. Oh, I wonder if he's gonna think like, oh man, Mion has a crush on me. I'm gonna pop the question. Do you want to go to the groovy dance at the old barn with me? That's how it always starts. Maybe Shion is experiencing the OMG, he talked to me, she talked to me, she likes me thing for the desperate men. Possibly. I mean, Shion hasn't had a whole lot of interaction with the opposite sex that isn't like 40 years older than her, so that could very well be.
シオン？
ああ、ごめん。聞いてる聞いてる。
そもそもね、サトコがおばと折り合いが悪いらしいんだ
I
よ
mean,
ね。
her aunt sounds pretty bad.
サトシは大人だからその辺はうまく立ち回ってるんだけどさ、サトコは嫌なことがあると素直に表情に出しちゃうからね。
What Sis told me was very interesting. She told me that the parents of Satoshi-kun and his little sister are dead. Satoshi-kun and Satoko are now living with their uncle and aunt. They don't seem like very respectable people. They're always fighting, and the uncle is cheating on the aunt. Wow! Did we really need another reason to hate the uncle? What was the uncle's name again? I forget. He mostly lives with his mistress. Yeah, wow. Satoshi-kun and Satoko entered into that unwelcome environment. So are they at his house that he's staying at with the mistress primarily? And the aunt is only there occasionally? Or are they at the aunt's house and the uncle's only like occasionally like, I just came home for cigarettes. What surprises me the most is the fact that Satoshi-kun's parents were the Hojo couple who were the leaders of the pro-dam activists. That fact must have added something to the situation. I don't know what kind of stance the uncle and aunt took on during the dam conflict, but they must have taken some indirect blows. Satoshi-kun's parents died after bothering them so much, and even left them their children. The uncle and aunt obviously can't love those kids. I mean, they still don't have to treat them like trash. Teppei, that was his name, right? Things have gotten worse this past year, too. Women can be really nasty bullies, yeah, because it's easier for them to get away with it. Sometimes it doesn't matter who they're bullying, even if it's a kid. On top of that, women tend to care less about propriety than men. As a result, Satoko seems exhausted with it all. I can imagine Satoshi-kun bravely protecting his little sister. Just like when he saved me.
ならサトシ君も普段は疲れてるってことになるのかな。
え？
サトコがおばにいじめられるたびにきっとサトシ君は妹をかばってると思う。妹が疲れるのと同じくらいサトシ君も疲れてると思うのは私の。
Don't interrupt me, Mion.
どうだろうね。
Had I said something wrong? Mion sounded a bit taken aback. So that meant Mion can't tell how he's feeling. Because he's always wearing that blank look. So she never considered it. How can she be that insensitive even though she's around him all the time? You are one to talk, Shion. I was amazed to realize that.
まあそんな話はいいや。で、彼は普段はどんなことをしてるの？文系みたいだから読書とか好きなわけ？
想像に漏れずに普段は読書して過ごしてる。
But we know he has a baseball bat, too. That's what we used as our final boss weapon in Chapter 1.
最近読んでる本はね、
If you say
なんて言ったかな。
if you say he's reading Portrait of Markov, I'm gonna freak out. Nope, we don't even get to learn. I can everyone on YouTube, what book was Satoshi reading? I'm guessing the newest entry in the Redwall series. Which back then was probably like Mariel of Redwall. That's a lot of assumptions going around. Oh yeah. Yeah, that happens. I continued asking about him. About what he likes, dislikes, and what he thinks about. How is she supposed to know what he thinks about? Also, what's your number? He's probably with Coach Erie. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. The bat was also the final boss weapon in Chapter 3. The problem is actually, wait. Was the final boss... The final boss in Chapter 3 was like 2/3 of the way through it. You could argue the true final boss was Keiichi himself. Or Coach, or... You know what? We're just gonna keep going. I asked Sis all these questions because I wanted to know more about him. It was the first time I'd ever been that interested in somebody. I didn't want to admit that I had feelings like that. You met him for 5 minutes. Did I fall in love just because of a stroke on the head? Am I stupid or what? Yes! When I remember the feeling of his head on my hand, that is not what she said. When I remember the feeling of his hand on my head, my heart feels tingly. I tried doing it myself, but it doesn't feel the same. Okay, great. I'm stupid. What am I doing stroking my own head? The final boss of Chapter 3 was the disaster. That right there. The end of Chapter 3 with the crazy, like, everybody died except Keiichi. That is still the biggest mystery in the game for me. I have no idea what the heck happened, because that didn't happen in any of the other chapters. It wasn't really explained, and it was definitely not explained how Keiichi alone survived that. Also, that seemed to imply... Actually, no. The actual biggest, like, what the bleep moment was... during the credits of Chapter 3, where it was going over the deaths of everybody, it mentioned that the uncle didn't die until the disaster, even though we definitely killed him earlier. I have no idea what to make of that, so... Again, no spoilers. I don't want to know the spoilers on that, but... Yeah.
おねえ、私もうダメだ。バカになっちゃった。
Oh, she said that out loud.
何を突然気色悪い声で笑い出して。
おねえにはわかるまい、この気持ち。
What is this feeling? So sudden and new. Oh, she's going crazy with the giggles already. When would I see him again? I felt as though if my suffocating life had finally grown brighter. She's crazy. She's a stalker girl. I do not like Shion. She is my least favorite character out of the main characters.